Hello everybody, how y'all doing? My name is Rafael and thank you for watching today's video. And today I want to talk about 5 things that Division 1 did great, and I hope that we get to see them return in a possible Division 3 title. So let's get started. First of all, the Dark Zone. Dark Zone in Division 1 was great. You wanted to PvP, you could go to the Dark Zone. You wanted to farm, you could go to the Dark Zone. You wanted like classified gear, exotics, no matter what you wanted to get, you were able to actually get it into the Dark Zone. It was huge, which meant that it allowed you to like try to farm away from rogues and extract successfully. And it was also great because it meant that the PvP was much more interesting. You had more players, you had a bigger map, and the map knowledge and the awareness gave you a huge advantage over your opponent if he was just like a new player or whatever. I really miss joining the Dark Zone, entering the Dark Zone and just like farming for hours. In Division 2 that's not really that possible, because if you get to extract something and there is a rogue on your server, it has enough time to get to the extraction point and try to kill you. In Division 1 you could avoid all that by just like farming in a different like Dark Zone zone. I think you had like you had like 9 or 10 Dark Zones, sections or whatever. So most of the times the PvP was happening in the lower parts of the Dark Zone, and as you got higher you were able to farm much more easily and safely, at least to my knowledge and to my experience. But overall the Dark Zone experience from Division 1 was much better compared to Division 2, and I hope that if we get a Division 3 title we will get a similar Dark Zone to Division 1. Number 2, of course, are the signature skills. Signature skills were replaced by specializations, if I'm not mistaken. And even though I like the whole idea of having a specialization and a specialization tree and actually having a big impact on your playstyle and your gameplay, I think that the developers weren't actually able to achieve something like that. I think they took away the signature skills and gave us the specializations, which they hoped or they thought that they would be able to turn into something much more like essential into the end game, but it turned out that really it's not that important. Of course, like having a demolition specialization on when you're like having a seeker mine build, it's pretty helpful because you get 10% extra explosive damage and whatnot. But at the end of the day, it's really not that huge as signature skills were back in Division 1. In case you haven't played Division 1 and you don't know what signature skills are, back in Division 1 you had like 2 normal skills and then a signature skill. The signature skill had like a huge cooldown, but when you actually used it, it had like huge effect. So you had like 3 different of those, and you had like a healing signature skill, which you would either like proc by itself if you were playing solo and you were about to die, which will heal you up back like full of your health. Or if you were in a group, when you like used it, you would heal all your teammates back to normal. You would get some, I'm guessing, healing bonuses, I don't quite remember, fast regeneration and something like that. But you could also like revive your teammates if they were down. So in like an incursion where things were tough and all your teammates were down and you were about to wipe, you could use it and like revive everyone and like come in with a clutch. The other signature skill was like giving you a pretty huge DPS boost. It would like increase your fire rate, your damage. It was pretty good if you want like burst down an enemy boss or whatever. And the third one was like actually like an armor thing, which you like give you armor, more like, I don't know, resistances and things like that. I never really used that one. I always like went with the healing and the damage one, but all 3 of them were pretty important. And in a PvP scenario, when you had like a 3 or a 4-man group, using them at the right time and when you should use them, it was like a really game changer, so to say. Signature specializations don't have the same effect, are like nothing close to what signature skills were, and I really hope that signature skills make a return in a possible Division 3 title. Moving on number 3, we have the incursions. Incursions, in case you haven't played Division 1, were something like smaller and easier raids, so to say. They weren't like considered to be like raids or anything like that. Back in Division 1 we didn't have raids, so the whole raid concept wasn't a thing back then. but now compared to Division 2, I would say that they were something like a little bit harder and like more complex than legendary missions, but not as much as like raids. There were 4-man, so you could like simply just match make, get 3 randoms and complete them. But of course there were some mechanics involved, yeah, that you needed to like know and to understand in able to complete them. They didn't took like that much long of a time as a raid does, but they weren't as fast as simple missions, so to say. So there was something in between, so to say, and they were pretty friendly to the average player because they actually allowed to average players to play them and to complete them and to get the rewards from them. Something that the raids don't really do in Division 2, and that's why I think that incursions were a much better idea than the raids were. And I hope that we get more incursions in a possible next Division title. And I'm saying that because I'm all for having raids, and I'm happy that people are enjoying them, but I hope that the developers actually offer something to the average player who is like bored of like doing the same heroic legendary missions and control points, you know, all over again and again and again. But at the same time they don't have the group of like 7 other friends, or they're not in a clan, or they don't want to join a clan, or for whatever reason, right? Give them the opportunity to enjoy something like harder and of something of higher difficulty than just legendary missions, but not like raids, because obviously they cannot participate in the raids and complete them. But yeah, I really hope that we get a bunch of incursions. They were pretty fun, pretty awesome, and I love them. Number 4, of course, are the healing skills, and healing pretty much in general in Division 1. Healing in Division 1 was much simpler, I would say, much faster and much more fun. What I mean by that is that first of all, you had like the med kits and not the armor kits. You didn't have any armor in Division 1, you just had your health. And as soon as like you wanted to use your health kit because your health was going down, you just like press the button while you were running and you just like healed instantly. In Division 2, of course, you know that armor kits take some time in order to complete and to use, which means that in a PvP case scenario, or even on PvE, if you're playing like very aggressive and you don't have like any cover around you, you cannot actually use them. In PvP it's even worse, because if you go behind some cover to actually use them, the enemy can like run up to you and completely kill you. That's why I don't really enjoy PvP in this game, because I feel like the whole PvP just who can take down the enemy armor faster, you know. Healing and things like that don't really play such big overall in Division 2. But anyways, Division 1 heals were pretty much faster to use, pretty much easier, and overall I think they were greater. You also had like skills which could use instantly and take like the maximum amount of heal. What I mean by that, now I'm gonna compare like the med station that we had in Division 1 with the hive that we have in Division 2. So pretty much now the hive, how it works, you like drop it down, and when like your life when your armor like gets lowered, you get some stingers to come to you and repair your armor, right? You cannot like use the maximum heals that that hive has in like a second or something like that, and I'm gonna explain what I mean right now. So in Division 1, what you could actually do was like either drop down the med station and wait for it to heal you slowly, or you could like drop it down and instantly destroy it, and that would actually give you the maximum amount of heals that you would get over time. You would get them right there in that moment, which was pretty OP and pretty good, because it was like very effective in PvP, and it was also very good for PvE content, because as I said, if you those type of healing skills, the way that you can like use them that fast allow for you to be much more aggressive even on PvE content, right? So you can like just use like, I don't know, a health and kill armor build or whatever, right? And just like run up on to the enemies, drop down your medkit, pick it right back up, and like get the maximum amount of heals. Also, you had other like skills, I don't remember the name, what it was called, but you just like press your button and you would heal yourself instantly, like, I don't know, to 80 or 70%. I mean, heals back in Division 1 were much faster to use, much better, and much funner in my personal opinion. I hope that Division 3 brings back those kind of healing skills and healing mechanics, because Division 2, in my opinion, the way that they actually made the skills work, they force you to play much more defensively and much more slower, which is something that I don't like. If you have watched like any of my builds, any of my Division 2 builds, you have understand by now probably that I like to actually be pretty aggressive and to be out of cover for as long as possible. But yeah, it is the way it is. Last and like the least important, I would say, but also most important thing that I think Division 1 did great, and I hope that we get to see in a Division 3 title, which I'm not going to be able to explain very well, is the fact it's the feeling the game gave you overall. Now, I'm not going to be able to explain it that good, so if you understand it, if you know what I mean, then that's fine. If you don't, I'm sorry, whatever. So in Division 1, like the whole color system of the game and the map was like more grays, if that makes any sense. I don't even know if I can pronounce that word right. I will have it right now on your screens, but pretty much the colors were like more, in quotes, sad, if I could say that, and the feeling, like the wind that you heard and like the snow and like the map, like destruction and everything around you, everything you were seeing and hearing made you like understand and realize how like fucked up things are, and how like important it is for you to like succeed your goals in Division 1 game, right? You had to like save the world, kind of, because the government was gone, the army was gone, everything was destroyed. It was pretty much you and like a bunch of JTF guys who didn't have an idea what the fuck they were doing before you arrived. And the map actually, and especially the Dark Zone, gave you that feeling and actually enforced it, if that makes any sense. What you saw and what you heard made you realize that things are pretty fucked up, and that's something that I really enjoyed. Now, back then I didn't really realize it, but when I compare to Division 2, Division 2 graphics are insanely great, are so much beautiful and great to watch and to see, but the game, it has like so more like bright colors and happier colors, if that makes any sense. Of course, being in a different like location, I guess, affects the whole like environment thing, but also I feel like I don't know, I feel like Division 2 is a much happier place, and I'm not like saying that this is a bad thing necessarily, but I feel like it failed to give me that feeling of like things going to hell. You know what I mean? When I'm playing Division 2, I'm not like I will very rarely like stop moving and be like, oh my god, I need to check that screenshot, because the environment here is like so epic. I mean, yeah, you get like nice colors and graphics, but in Division 1, the environment actually like it matches 100% the whole theme of the game that I'm playing. When in Division 2, I don't get that feeling. I don't know, it might be just me, and I told you that I don't really know how to describe what I'm trying to say right now, but some of you, I hope, that got the idea of what I'm trying to say. So I would definitely like to see a Division 3 like bring back that like feeling of like what you're seeing actually matching the whole like game story and theme of the game. Anyways, guys, that was it pretty much. I hope that you enjoyed the video. It kind of longer than the usual videos that I'll make, but it is what it is. I hope that, as I told you already, I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe for more, and also leave a comment to tell me what you would like to see in a possible Division 3 title. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.